Well, hello, and welcome back to these Pat Paints. I'm Pat with the messy hair today. I didn't wash it, obviously. I really need to. I need to wash my hair today. Anyway, I washed it yesterday, but I woke up with it all kind of greasy. I don't know. Must be the humidity. Or maybe I was running my hair in it. Or maybe the cats did something. I don't know. But it was a busy morning for me, so I didn't get a chance to jump in the shower just yet. Not that is anything anybody really wants to hear about. Anyway, we're gonna do that after some. We gotta do some yard work today after we get done with the show too. So I was just planning on getting dirtier. So we're gonna do all that later, and I should be back to the flowing locks of amazingness tomorrow. Anyway, we did get, and good news places, we did get this lovely cloak done. Let's go ahead and we're going to shrink Steve-O-Vision and bring up the painting camera. I'm getting better at this stuff all the time. That's good, though. I like that. I'm glad that I'm getting better at it. It'd be weird if I wasn't. So anyway, we did get this lovely cloak finished. Looks so good. I'm very happy with it. And we are moving on to getting the rest of this assembled. Now, I probably should have put these pauldrons on before I put this back part of the cape on, which makes more sense now that I've gotten it kind of in there. But I got this one in. We won't talk about how I got it in there. I guess we should. This is a show that we talk about those things. So on this one goes in pretty easily. Sit down carefully. You can see on the peg here. And this peg just slits, it slides right into the slot, Tab into slot, real easy, yeah? Well, in this situation, the cape here on this side was blocking where this would come in. So, and I couldn't get it to slide in like this, and I couldn't get it to slide in like this. So what we had to do is we had to remove material that's like right there. And now that it's in there, I don't know that I can get it back out without breaking it. So we're not really going to try to do that. But just so you know what I did is I set it in there. Very similar to the way this one is. If you tried to put this one in like this, it won't work quite as easily. So I slid it in there, and then I made a mark to take off this edge of the deal so that it could slide in there like that. And that's how I got that piece to go in there. Now this piece doesn't seem like it wants to go all the way in there either. Now that has to do more with, I think this is supposed to be over maybe a little bit more, and our heads does not go quite down in there either. And I think that's because we need to remove some of the material around his peg so he'll sit further down. So anyway, this shoulder's looking great. This shoulder not so much. A couple things we can do. We're going to try to remove some of the material right here to kind of help us get in there. Maybe we can shrink it just a touch. So we're going to make a mark kind of around where this thing is. So we can maybe dent that down a little bit and help it slide in just a touch, because it is definitely stopping right underneath where this cloak is. So that's probably the first thing we need to do today is do that. We also can get working on getting this peg filed all the way down. We may even just throw a few strikes with the files down in here and make sure it's going to go in smooth. That's kind of part of how things go sometimes. All right, so let's put this guy over here for now. So he's out of the way, and I don't like knocking him off the table because that would be awful, wouldn't it? I know I hate it. Also, I found these really cool samurai at this store I went to, and we're going to do these eventually. I don't know when. So we are going to do these guys eventually. They're really, really cool. I might actually just make like a regular video of this instead of like a live. I don't know. I keep threatening to do these regular videos, but I just have so much. I have 4 kids, and they keep me super freaking busy between that and my lovely girlfriend. But anyway, I think these guys are for like $10 down at an old. It's kind of like an old toy store where they sell vintage toys and stuff. But anyway, it's pretty cool. It's got a shogun and a drummer here and a pole bearer there, standard bearer. So it should be cool. Anyway, those are neat. And also, I always said I'm supposed to be. My kids keep telling me to talk about this. When we get to 250 subscribers, I'm going to start this old school giant from the old world. He's missing a peg on his foot, but that shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to still get him to sit down right. No big deal. He is huge. He's so heavy. I worry about my poor hands, trying to keep painting him, but that's okay. So if we get to 250, we're going to do that. And then I've got another thing. Once we get past 250, I got another big deal we're going to do for trying to get us to 500. So, yeah. Share us around, tell your friends, tell everybody, come see us, paint weird things, or just watch me be a weirdo. You know, that's something that's, people like to do that. People like to watch other people be weird. You know, I mean, maybe I do too a little bit. Not gonna lie. Okay. We gotta find some music and get started. Gotta probably hit this with a commercial first. Nope. Maybe not. It is not. Yay. Okay. A little coffee, a little water. Alright, so what we try and do is just take a little bit of this out. We gotta be super slow with this. Don't go fast. You're just trying to shave a little bit off at a time. We don't want to take too much of this off, and we don't want to like accidentally jerk it around. I knew this was going to be like this once we kind of started getting it together. I was like, man, so many pieces. When they're in more pieces, the resin models definitely seem to need a little bit more love. When it's one, like a bust or something like that, it's all printed in one piece, it's a whole lot easier. They usually are not as crazy when it comes to the modifications needed. And this one was maybe just, you know, I didn't put it together quite right, or there's a lot of little things here. But if you know how to kind of fix them, you can do that. Oh yeah, that's much tighter. Maybe just a little bit more. That's much tighter. You can see how our line here is now a little bit tighter. That's kind of what we're looking for. So and carefully shave off a little bit more. It's so weird because you're really dealing with just tiny little bits, trying to slide those pieces in like that. Yeah, that's much better. So that's pretty acceptable there, because we can, once this is together, we can put a little bit of material back in the back there to make it look like parts of the folds of cloth. We'll do the same thing here with this cloak to get it to come together. Okay, so now we're past that, we're on to just doing a little bit of sanding to get this head set in there, right? So that's like the never-ending story of this model is sanding. We're definitely sanding and filing a lot of stuff. Now if I were going to be doing a lot of this, or if I was going to be using a high-speed tool, we definitely want a rebreather, some sort of mask. A little bit isn't going to be a big deal, but it's definitely not something that if you're going to pull out your Dremel, it's not something you're going to be breathing in when you're dremeling. This guy is definitely... he definitely wants the sanding done. Let's see, get right there in these corners too. Or corners, crevices. It's hard to get in there and sand that. It's weird, his beard is like hanging over in some spots, but then like his hair is down in his cloak in other spots. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Almost. Oh, come on out there. Easy does it, easy does it. Easy does it. Come on. Okay. That should actually let us kind of look down this the hole. Now we can see where it's rubbing. So we're rubbing right here. See that. Let's take that off too. And we'll rub in there, and it's rubbing down the bottom. So I'm just gonna grab this guy. So this is like a file with a square top on it. And this is gonna help us kind of just file right down in there. I'll just move the camera. I get better at just moving the camera. So we'll take this and we're just filing right down in this hole. There's a little bit of a ledge right there. You can feel it. I bet if we smooth that little edge out, he'll drop right in. We may change or try to file a couple times trying to find the right angle to get that lump out. You can definitely feel a lump. And you can hear it snap, you can hear it pound up. It's right where they meet up. So what we're trying to do is just take that out. Almost very close. Definitely, it's definitely that little lump is a big part of this. We can get that out there, and this is all going to work out great. Everything else is lined up except for that one little spot. It might even be a glue. It might have been from extra glue coming out. Very close. Close enough now, we probably can get away with it. Do a little bit of work on that on the inside. Resin stuff in there. I'll try and fix it later. Okay, so. Alright. Get that head out of there and take a look at it. I can fit sand this down just a little bit more. Seems like a lot of it's right here by this top where it meets up. And there's something's going on with this beard. I'm not sure what that's all about right there. But you can see where there might be a misprint. You see that little... Oh, it just showed up again. It showed up for just a second. But there's a little gap in the very bottom of his beard. Should just be able to fix that with some milliput, which we're gonna have to pull out anyway. So it should be no big deal. Even better. Alright, now we're real close. So we can fix the rest of that with no butt. Shouldn't be too big a deal. He says as he continues to file away at it. I just like it perfect. I like everything to be perfect. Can't help. That's it. get a little bit better all this every time we do it. Alright, that side heating up. That side's pretty darn close. I think we can get away with it. I think we're good. I said that already though. Pulled it out and did it again. Okay. Alright. Take that out. Take that out. So drink water. 23 minutes in. We're doing pretty good. So I was wondering if we're going to be even getting around to putting paint on it, and it looks like we are. We got to do mill put first though. But we can let this soak while we're doing that. I was putting more water in there than I know I'm going to need. So I know we'll need more water than that. Or less water than that. We'll pull some of it out after it gets done rehydrating. Whatever I didn't just spill out right there, of course, you know. Okay. Get all this stuff back over here where it belongs. Put down the other excess stuff off the mat. Just get back in here. Okay. I need to get me one of those big old honking black ones. Big mats. I'm kind of hoping YouTube will start sponsoring me soon rather than later, and I can get them to pay for it, because that would be fun. Right? Anywho, I'll drink. Okay. But that's what we're going to do next. Stay on target. I'm going to need a whole lot. I can tell my kids are in here playing with it. Now it looks like a little bit of a cigar or something like that. More like a joint, but whatever. What are you gonna do, right? Not much. That would be a fun thing to do. Eventually, when we get things going, more people and stuff like that, we can have like, tell us your favorite story of a child doing something in your studio or to your artwork or what, something like that would be pretty wild. Okay. Okay, so there it is. We're going to try to fill this gap right here. And we got to make it kind of look like it's either part of the pauldron or part of the cloak. And that's where it's a little complicated. We'll have to get it in there and figure out what we want to do with it. And then painting it becomes a kind of a nightmare. But I kind of needed to see what it was all going to look like together with the paint on it before I started tinkering with it too much. And just smooth it out now it's in there. Try and get a smooth surface. At least smoothish. Okay. So I think we kind of need to do a little bit of both. I think it kind of needs to be, part of it needs to be the pauldron, and part of it needs to be another bit of his cloak. Okay, now of course I'm doing this with a wooden skewer. That's not necessarily what everybody's going to want to use. There's all sorts of different types of tools out there you can get. Silicone tools or whatever. Quiet on the set! That boy don't listen. I was like, dude, don't be sitting in the room laughing the whole time I'm here on this show because it's distracting. And he's in there giggling like a little hyena. Hopefully you can't hear it on there. Or maybe hopefully you can because it's kind of funny. And then we can all kind of giggle at him. He's at that age where he thinks he has more control than he really does. You all remember that, overconfidence. You get when you're younger, you're like, oh, I can just be quiet. No. Not if you're watching something truly funny. Let's see. Where'd it go? Where'd my bag of salt and stuff? Uh-oh. Looks like we're stuck with that. Skewer, okay. May not mean very much. Oh, I did my boat. I had a bag full of sculpting tools. Where is it? I got it out earlier. And I put it somewhere where I wouldn't forget it, and then what did I do? I forgot where I put it. It's probably on the floor. That's right. He's still there giggling. It's so funny. still can't keep quiet, or, you know, simply get up and move to another room. Because, you know, why get up? Kids. Yeah, just start shutting the door. Although the cats don't particularly allow that. They I don't know if you ever live with cats, but like closed doors and cats is like that's against the law or something. Cat law. It's against cat law. He might even be in the other room. He may just be laughing so hard at whatever he's watching that I can hear him all the way in here. And I'm just I made a cut, and I'm just pulling it out a little bit. That skewer won't get quite that sharp of an angle for us. What we want, because when it dries, it will, you know, maintain that sharper angle. Now I'm just trying to smooth it, because we don't want it to look rough, we want it to look pretty good, nice and smooth. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to add the texture that the rest of the cloak has to the cloak we've done. Just smoothing it out little bits by little bits. I'll put it back here in the back, no one's going to see it, so we don't necessarily have to be too worried. Alright. So that's really going to help. That's really going to help bring that pauldron together with the cloak. And then we'll paint one side blue and one side to the pauldron. We're going to do that interior of the pauldron. Okay. So I'm thinking about probably that Alizarin red. We could use it on a lot of these other accent points, just to give us that red back. It would be nice. All right, this one is a lot closer. So we may just be able to get away with leaving these gaps alone and just focusing on where this cloak is coming in and meeting up, which is great because that makes our life a lot easier. Of course, you know, now that I've got it set down like this, I'm seeing something different, and that's part of the nature of the game. You're gonna kind of put it down and you're gonna move it around. And all of a sudden things are going to look different from a different angle. And so you're going to try to refine that angle and get that bit to look the way you want it to. I need to get myself some of those they're silicone tipped sculpting tools, and they work great for this sort of stuff. I had some for a little while, but I've lost. I don't know what I did with them. This, I'm just using a wet paintbrush to kind of smooth all that out now. Look at this. That should do it. We're gonna see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, maybe I get a little bit too much of that perfectionist thing going on in me, and I can't really stop. Yeah, see, because we can just leave all that kind of alone. You're not going to see a lot of that because of the lion that's going to sit on him. So it should be just fine. Now, this, on the other hand, we do have this gap that's right here in between the cloak and the caress. That's the name of the chest plate, breastplate. You got a lot of different names for those things, but I think this one's called a caress. And these are pauldrons, if I remember correctly, from all my days studying medieval things. Alright, now the fridge is on so he can laugh all he wants. I won't hear him. They're so funny. Kids are a blast. If you have them, you know what I mean. And if you don't have them and you want them, definitely make sure that you have the patience level for it. 20 years ago, before I started having kids, I wasn't quite ready, so I probably would have flown off the handle at that sort of thing. Right now, it's just kind of really funny. We're going to have a conversation about it later, about how, when the dad's on the thing, be quiet. Alright, so this one should be pretty simple. We really just need to finish this lump as it comes down. And maybe even sweep it in underneath just a touch. There we go. Now this brush isn't like soaking wet. It's just damp. Okay. And that fixes that part. I'm going to let that stuff dry up before we attach this head. I am going to fix his little beard. I think I might let that dry up and then do a little work on getting more of this peg to sit in there better. Because I really feel like we can get this thing further down in there. But while I have this mullet put out, we really need to fix this strangeness in his beard. So when we come through and paint this later, we're not tripping. Okay. Get that a little bit wet, not too wet. Definitely gotten better with working on mill putt since this show began. I was already pretty decent. I'm decent at sculpting, but I hadn't really done a lot of messing with this particular substance. I really enjoy it. I really like it. It's a great companion to your typical green stuff, which is another type of two-stage epoxy. Now, it gets a lot more, it's a lot rubberier than mill putt. When mill putt hardens, it's like hard as a rock. And green stuff can get kind of hard like that, but it doesn't, it's not quite that hard. Texture in it. I feel like I got the gap filled pretty good. Alright, that should cover that weirdness. Now it should just look a little bit more like regular old hair. Okay. So look at this guy. Looks pretty snug. We'll be okay leaving that alone. Now we just gotta get this to sit in there right. This is definitely when it gets towards this, so we'll just actually just cut away some of this material. Sanding seems to be taking too long. Be very careful doing this. It's really easy to cut your fingers. This is a real good way we can get a lot of this material off really quickly. And it feels like a problem is up here, not in the bottom. You see that if you're careful, this stuff just kind of slices right off for you. No problem. Can shave it off pretty easy. We'll come back and clean it up with a file. And I apologize if I'm missing any comments or anything like that. I still haven't quite got my computer to get this streaming thing just right, so I'll have to have my friend when he comes over take a look at it. I got a friend of mine that's much better at computers than me, and he knows this program better than I do. So I'm gonna, next time I have him over, I'm gonna be like, help me, Obi-Wan. We'll get it figured out. I think that chat's working just fine, just with no one's commented. That's pretty typical, though. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. I definitely don't want anybody to think that I'm mad that people don't comment or anything, because like, that's not real. Like, I like when people comment, but I'm also more than happy to just continue to kind of, I don't know, stream of consciousness, as I guess what you call this. A stream of consciousness, educational thing. I don't know. Oh, I know you gotta let your hands take a break, because that kind of work right there will really, really work them. We'll come back through here with one of our dry brushes too. Not a dry brush, but a brush that is dry, and we'll make sure that all of the shavings are off it. Man, I really feel like this side's gonna be the one. Once I get this chiseled off right here, I feel like this is gonna be a big deal. It feels lumpy here, where it's felt super smooth and all of this, and not from like lumpy because I filed it wrong or something, but like it was lumpy when I got it. It may have just been a weird cure. Sometimes resin prints will get little bits of excess resin that like leak out, especially like a hole like this, where it leaks out of the hole and you don't notice, and then it starts to cure when you put it in your cure chamber, and it doesn't come out well. Oh yeah, there we go. That's all the way, almost. I mean, pretty much. We've got a little bit of stuff with his hair right there. We might want to have to. We might mess with. Man, I hate to not do that right now with the mully put out. But I can't get behind his beard if I do that. Let me think. Got 10 minutes left. Ish. Let me think. I don't know what to do while it's on him. But we kind of need to. That gap is completely wrong. Even if the cloak was like with everything flush, it still wouldn't have connected properly. You can see right there. And again, I don't know a situation where this guy is going to take up a lot of this space. So that goes there. That goes there. But again, it's that open side here, so I don't know. Let's get this line together and take a look. See what we're actually looking at. Back on there. Get back on there. Oh, this thing is so flippin' big. It's a massive, massive model. Okay, so get that in here. Okay. See, so we're not really going to see, support that just in case. We're not really going to see that that side a lot, but you can see it. Versus like down inside that polder, we're not going to see it as much. So, okay. I think we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to have to just, we'll let it all cure, and then we'll have to so I want to get behind this beard and paint it. Or I need to be able to get this out. Come on now. There it goes. Alright, so we're going to let that stuff set up. Oh, maybe I did have the right amount of water. Look at that. Should about a few minutes. Try to get that the rest of the way wet, but oh well, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Probably put a little bit of bronze on these pauldrons and have that done real quick. We'll take a look at some of this other stuff too, his shirt and stuff like that, while we're off the air. Figure out where we gotta go for tomorrow and get that done. This side's gonna be super easy because I don't have to worry too much about what I'm doing. Just paint all this bronze and we're in business. And no, I don't typically recommend painting that way. It's definitely one of those where I'm just trying to make sure we get a good coat on this real quickly. Oh, that sounded like a cat making noise. Probably broke something. We're going to be a whole lot more delicate on this other pauldron, so it's kind of nice to be able to just kind of speed roll that one. Put a little bit. We'll switch to a different brush here. Now I'm basically just trying to get a quick coat done here. Mostly for pictures. So tomorrow we'll have a little bit of a change from the picture from today. Doesn't have to be too much. I just like our thumbnails to have a little bit of, a little bit of difference to them. Suck up the rest of this time as well. Now remember that orange stuff is it's going to be, some of it's going to be a blue, and then some of it's going to be whatever we decide to make the underneath there's usually cloth in the underneath of a really well made pauldron. sometimes padding and stuff like that. I mean, it was medieval times, but it wasn't like stupid. People weren't actually dumb, and they understood that, okay, well, I'm getting a bruise from riding on this horse wearing this armor. How do I not get a bruise? They you'd be really surprised at exactly how intense real armor is. Like the old knights and the way their armor was, or even like the Japanese armor, all those armors, the old Chinese armor, like all of them, they moved with the fighter. Everybody thinks of this big lumbering armored warrior, and it's really not like that. Those guys were strong. They were trained. They knew how to move in the armor. Okay, if I got in a set of full plate gear right now, I probably wouldn't be able to do very well in it. I'm kind of out of shape. I'm not trained. So it's gonna look really heavy, but from all accounts, they moved pretty good. It's not what you think. Unfortunately, I think Hollywood has kind of done everyone a disservice on that one and made kind of this opinion of what armor looks like on the move that isn't real. Come back with those fine detail brushes and do that area. That's a little too close for this old beater. Yeah, it looks like we are out of time for today, my friends. So pretty good though. Got a lot of stuff done. I should be drying up, not that on there. So yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of a thing going. Take a look at that one more time. It's really nice. So, yeah, coming along. Put on this little pedestal. Boom. Alright. Alright, well, that wasn't too shabby, right? Let's pull ourselves back up. Let me holler at you. Alright, so anyway, we got all that done, and we're going to go ahead and I got to go do some gardening and some stuff like that, and then wash my hair. And then we'll be back at you tomorrow, for sure. Definitely come check us out. Like I said, if we hit the 250 mark we're going to do this guy. He's super cool. Ooh, scary. So, in between all of our actual studio work where we have the commissions coming in. So, hopefully, we can start on that. Which might be fun to do the different, the other stuff, the non-commissioned work, and do that as like a full-on videos. Which I have to do that. I have to get around to doing that. So, anyway, at least my eyes looking better, right? I can't even remember which one it was. Was it this one or that one? I think it was this one. Yeah, it still feels a little funky. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody who stopped by, and we really appreciate all the support. In all seriousness, it really is awesome. We've gained like 7 subscribers in the last month or so, which was awesome for us. I very rarely take up in subscribers, so gaining 7 is pretty cool. So pretty impressed with that. Last 28 days or whatever the tracker on the YouTube thing tells you. Yeah. So that's about all I got. I've already chewed up enough of your time, so we're gonna talk to you later. Bye. Maybe bye. Okay, bye now.